Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube. I hope everyone is healthy. Friends, power is not permanent. A superpower will always rule the whole world alone. This cannot happen. Many superpowers have come and gone in the history of the world, which finally happened to the United States after a long 30 to 40 years. Finally, the United States accepted its own decline and acknowledged the power and support of Iran and its allies. You can certainly see on the screen that US President Donald Trump has revealed the National Defense Strategy, NDS, that they have for 2026. There, Donald Trump has clearly set the military policy of the United States in 6 new conditions, where no guarantee has been given about providing security to any country outside the United States. The United States will not send any military personnel to any war in the Middle East or East Asia. Even the United States has said in its new strategy that if any country in the world does not purchase 5% of its GDP of weapons from the United States, then they will not go to any war as part of the guarantee of that country's security. In other words, if a country's GDP is $1 trillion, it must purchase weapons worth about $50 billion from the United States. This is an obligation. The United States has taken China's military production sector and military strategy as a model, and the United States has said that we have to follow the path of China and Iran. Donald Trump has reduced the internal office expenses of the United States and various bureaucratic defense expenses and focused on the main capabilities in the field of warfare, which are weapons production. This new defense strategy of the United States has caused a lot of trouble for big countries like India, because they had formed an alliance like the Quad to confront China, the main power of which was the United States. However, this Quad has been declared extinct in the new defense policy. They have not added any word of the Quad to the new defense policy. Even recognizing China as a stable power, there is no war against China or any alliance. The new strategy of the United States has been ruled in favor of continuing to negotiate with China. Quad is a powerful military alliance in which the United States will directly participate and cooperate in the fight against China. Under this high-end dream of India, India has spent billions of dollars buying weapons from the United States, the capabilities of which are in question. Now Donald Trump has abolished the Quad and has accepted a power like China as a superpower and said that there is no conflict against China. Rather, China should be accepted as a superpower and stability should be maintained. This is a big defeat for India, and a big defeat for the United States as well. What will the Indian media say now? Because the United States is now recognizing China as a superpower and adding it to world stability. For the last 30 years, all those who have gone to fight directly against the United States have been defeated. The United States has occupied that country, ruled that country's region for a long time, and no one has been able to speak on it. There is a difference in the case of Iran. The United States could not benefit by attacking Iran. Even now it is thinking 10 times before attacking. And for this, they had to change their aggressive defense strategy and accept power and reality. And such a move sends a message of the final defeat of the United States as a world power, which has affected the US arms export market. Look, US weapons are very expensive. Despite the questions about their effectiveness, many countries in the world have been forced to buy them. For example, countries like Canada have been forced to buy US weapons, although Canada had the opportunity to buy better weapons at a lower price. However, after a long time, when the balance of power in China has been created by the rise of countries like Iran, Canada is now daring to buy weapons outside the US. And for this, they have also taken the final decision to buy submarines from Germany, excluding US submarines. This incident has created a stir because, as a neighboring country of the US never allows Mexico or Canada to buy weapons from any other country. And in such an important situation, a country like Canada has decided to buy 12 diesel-electric submarines from Germany, excluding US submarines. The final deal on this issue is just around the corner, and the United States has expressed its anger over this issue. A new country purchases weapons with the tax money of its own citizens and has many commitments to ensure the safety of its citizens and the sovereignty of its own country. No matter which country it is, I will use the weapons purchased with my own tax money against any country for the needs of my own country. However, it is never possible to do so if I buy weapons from the United States. The United States gives preconditions before selling any type of weapon. Even if the countries that are allies of the United States are extremely hostile countries, American weapons cannot be used without the permission of the United States, for which Pakistan's F-16 fighter jets were a cut in their throats, because India was allegedly an ally of the United States, for which using these American weapons means being chained to the United States itself. Countries like Canada are also very worried about the issue. Canada had an agreement to purchase about 90 F-35 fighter jets from the United States. Now, Canada wants to cancel this agreement. Canada wants to buy the Gripen fighter jets they have from Sweden instead of the F-35, because they are affordable and effective, and there is no kill switch, for which Canada is going to take this decision. Now, whenever this matter has come to light, the United States has directly threatened that if Canada cancels the F-35 purchase deal, the United States will send its fighter jets to Canadian skies and will control the entire Canadian sky. Canada will not be able to fly any type of Gripen aircraft in the sky. You can completely say it is coercion. Canada has been clearly told that you must take the F-35. If you do not give us the wheels, engines, and even the bare body of the F-35, you will still have to take it. If you do not do this, the entire sky of Canada will be under the US military air force. No type of Gripen aircraft will be able to enter, and this is not a secret. The ambassador who is in Canada has publicly threatened that if Canada makes such a decision, it will be suicidal. Now, the issue is that when a country's military technology or military rise reaches a certain point, such a situation arises. Look at the fighter jet made by a country which is said to be the best in the world today, and Arab countries are spending their entire lives to get this aircraft. Canada does not want to buy it. There are doubts and questions about its performance and practical usefulness, for which they want to buy Gripen fighter jets instead, and the United States wants to forcefully sell those weapons. Think about how big a question mark is its practical usefulness in the battlefield or directly in the battlefield. Anyway, the United States has fallen. The United States understands very well that their weapons cannot be sold in the world market by threatening. China is selling more effective weapons at a very low price, which has created a huge impact. Even the drones that Iran has and the missile technology it has have opened the eyes of the big countries of the world. Media hype or pen-on-paper weapons cannot be purchased from the United States. Effective weapons have to be purchased, and for that we have to ensure our supply from alternative sources. Everyone is doing this work, which Bangladesh also needs to keep in mind now. So friends, you must write in the comment box what you personally think about these very important issues. So friends, goodbye like today. See you again with a new video. Until then, everyone stay well, stay healthy. Thank you.